For a denomination established nearly 300 years ago and now has approximately 12 million members worldwide, there are many stories illustrating the journey from there to here. John Wesley's vision for a transformative movement evolved into the United Methodist Church. Understanding the principles that gird our foundation makes us more effective in bringing others to Christ. At the heart of this movement are three areas of polity that guide the church: constitutional, episcopal, and connectional. This presentation is a glimpse into those areas that are the base of the structure of the United Methodist Church.
In constitutional polity, the book of discipline is the book of law. Part one of it is the Constitution, and we are constituted then, or brought into being, through three aspects: conference organization, episcopal supervision, and judicial interpretation of church law. If we look at it from an episcopal polity aspect, that has to do with the recruitment and the deployment and supervision of clergy. Leadership is given by the bishops and the district superintendents. Pastors are appointed or sent to churches. Pastors can be divided into different groups. Elders and deacons are those that are in the ordained categories. The elders itinerate, or that is, are moved from one location to another from time to time. Deacons are non-itinerant, possibly spending their entire career in one location. And then licensed pastors are the other category of pastors. Licensed local pastors are appointed year to year. And then remember, the third area of polity that I mentioned is connectional polity. Connectional polity is the part where we really get into the structure of the church.
The framework of the church is similar to that of our federal government. The denomination's three governing bodies are the legislative, executive, and judicial branches.
General Conference, as the primary legislative body, is the one that defines the conditions and privileges, duties of church membership, the powers and duties of clergy, of conferences, of the episcopacy. They authorize the official hymnal, the book of worship. They enable legislation that provides for judicial system and procedures. It's the only body that can speak officially for the entirety of the denomination. Our executive branch at this level is the Council of Bishops. It's led by a president of the council. Our judicial branch at this level is the Judicial Council. Lay and clergy members of the church elected by the General Conference serve for a term of 8 years. They make rulings on the constitutionality of actions of the General Conference, and they review rulings of bishops made during the sessions of annual conference. The Judicial Council, like the Supreme Court of the United States, has a primary function to make rulings about the constitutionality of actions taken or actions being proposed to be taken.
There are several levels of governance associated with the church, and the denomination is committed to clarity for its members. Many years ago, the United Methodist Church produced an animated film that attempted to make its structure less complicated for members. Its message is still effective today.
And the women kept on and made some more dents and finally got seated at General Conference. And they worked real hard to get the right to vote and put up the first sail on the temperance boat.
With a denomination as large as the United Methodist Church, having structure is essential to its operation and outreach. Decisions about the church are made every 4 years at General Conference, which is comprised of lay and clergy delegates from each annual conference. Currently, there are 74 annual conferences in other countries. As the membership expands, so do the annual conferences.
An annual conference is a regional organizational unit of the United Methodist Church. The resourcing at the annual conference focuses on the mission and ministry within the geographic boundaries, but also to the world through mission work and apportionments. As noted by its name, it also meets annually, and the meeting consists of an equal number of lay and clergy members, including at least one lay person from each pastoral charge. The conference is a time to review and approve ministerial credentials, to review and set direction of ministry and mission for the annual conference, to adopt policy resolutions, including an annual budget for the annual conference, and to strengthen the spiritual life of the church leadership.
Within those annual conferences in the U.S. are districts. Jurisdictional conferences outside the United States are known as central conferences. United Methodists in the Philippines, Europe, Asia, and Africa make up the central conferences. In addition to the annual conferences, there are 13 agencies that focus on different ministries of the church. Think of it as a collage, and each annual conference, district, and agency is part of the artwork that makes up the United Methodist Church.
The connectional table is not a general agency, but instead they are the place that serves as a coordination of mission and ministry of the denomination. The membership of the body includes clergy and lay members elected from jurisdictional and central conferences, the general agency presidents, and general secretaries, members from the denomination's racial and ethnic caucuses.
As a global church, it is necessary for all of the many parts, dedicated members in annual conferences, central conferences, and agencies, to work together toward one important goal: to bring others to Christ for the transformation of the world. We hope you are inspired to discover your gifts and use the resources within the United Methodist Church to continue the movement of taking the message of God's love around the world.